Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long time coming, but the time has arrived. 2 years ago, I talked about this little Dying Light-inspired Roblox game which blew up in popularity, showing how many people truly wanted to see Dying Light recreated in Roblox. And it was a lot. Since then, there's been a lot of different games, all nailing very different aspects when it comes to what we like in Dying Light. Some are recreating the first Dying Light, some the second. Some are inspired by the Battle Royale spin-off Bad Blood, or even Be the Zombie. There's a lot of games we're talking about today. Some in development, some are already out, some free, some cost money. Regardless, there's a little bit of everything for everyone here. So, if you're a fan of Dying Light, then stick around for this. My name is Ty, and let's start off with the game that made me make this video to begin with, and that's Dying to Parkour. I took a gamble on this one, not knowing anything about it beforehand, and even bought Robux for the first time just for this, and was it worth it? And sort of, and let me explain why. Let's start with the good. You have a lot of Dying Light features like a grapple hook to pull you around the decently sized city. There's also a full-on day and night cycle with many different weather variations, although the focal point and really the only mechanic here is parkour. And I don't mean to say that like it's a bad thing, I'm just setting expectations for the Dying Light fans that maybe want something to, you know, drop, kick, and kill, but we'll get to those games soon. The main objective in Dying to Parkour is to chain together different parkour skills and create a continuous flow, stacking skill after skill, which eventually leads to unlocking more skills, which then allows you to climb higher, jump farther, as to be expected. There are plans to add time trials, a spectator mode, and a significant price decrease, plus much more at some point later on. And oh yeah, forgot to mention the photo mode. This game has a lot of potential, but right now it's just missing a few key features that really bring it back, so I would wait, but at some point definitely come back and check it out. Anyway, it's time for a little quick 15-second montage, and then on to the next game. The next game we're going to be talking about is a classic on this channel, and it's Last Light, also known as Robloxian War Z. This is one of those that are progressing at a much slower pace, but every time I see it, it's incredibly professional with this nicely designed concept art that feels very much like a blocky Dying Light 2. However, since we last talked about this game, the focal point has shifted from being story-driven to being more of a sandbox survival experience now. The developers know Dying Light stories are one of the weaker things in the full package, so they wanted to create a living world where the player isn't restricted to linear objectives and mainly focus on perfecting the mechanics. There will be factions to come across, a stealth system, different ways to traverse the Villador-looking city, and much more. Out of every game I've seen, this one feels the most like Dying Light, but until we get to play it or see more, all we can do is speculate. So, before we continue on to the next game, we have to pay off those Robux thanks to today's sponsor, Aniba. Aniba is a digital marketplace where you can purchase all types of different games, gift cards, everything for any modern day system you can think of. What's cool about this, besides getting games at a really nice discount, is you can find games you can no longer officially buy. Like Dying Light Bad Blood, a game I've shown off on the channel numerous times due to how drastically unique it really is. Or you have the OG versions of Dead Island, before they were placed everywhere by the Definitive Edition. Same with the GTA Trilogy, and they have all those games too. There's a lot of cool history on there, many discounted items, and something that'll very likely appeal to you. Every once in a while, take a scroll through their hundreds of really cheap Steam games, and most of the time I end up finding a gem. Overall, there's over 40,000 products for every modern day console and mobile device, so go check out the links down below to help support the channel today. Thanks to Aniba for sponsoring today's video, and let's now dive into the insane PvP side of Dying Light Roblox. If you like the idea of that Dying Light PvP spin-off Bad Blood and wanted to play a free accessible to everyone version, well, this is the best you're gonna get. The game is called, text-to-speech, help me out here please,
Dzielnica,
and takes place in a small subdivision, giving the player a ton of weapons and classic parkour skills to use against everyone else in this bizarre free-for-all battleground. It's pure madness, allowing you to smack cans out of people's hands, do the classic drop kick, and take on the occasional gang of NPCs to mix things up a little bit. The game overall is great, and every time I look at it, it's doing really well player-wise, so you shouldn't have a problem trying to find people. At least right now, as the thing holding it back is it's not going to get any more content moving forward, as the developer moved away from Roblox completely. He's like, I'm done with this community, and dipped. It's a shame because it's one of those fun games with a great concept that'll eventually fade out with time, just like the original PvP Dying Light. So check it out while it still has a lively community, just keep in mind of the sweats. It started with just one drop kick, in the moment not truly understanding the monster I've unleashed, but he hunted me like a predator in the wild.
You better win your fight, because I'm coming on your ass, boy. I'm coming for that ass.
Death after death after death, everything turned into a continuous cycle of torture. No matter where I tried to go or where I went, he appeared like he's my shadow. waiting to punish me. But eventually, I began to escape his grasp, hoping I could flee to the rooftop with soon the elevator arriving. And then, I put this life of pain and torture behind me. Is what I wish happened. Anyways, I think it's time we move on. There's multiple different Dying Light inspired projects in earlier development, with a few of them being inspired by Be the Zombie. There's a few you could even play right now, but they're very much just a concept of what the abilities could be. However, the ones that are there are pretty cool. Another game is Dead Sun, which takes a few key elements from Dying Light 2, but also has a lot of its own stuff going for it as well, like this flying volatile bat thing. This one will have a mix of what I think everybody really wants when it comes to a Dying Light inspired Roblox game, which is to have parkour, as you can see, zombies, human combat, a ton of guns, and so much more. Okay, maybe not the guns when it comes to Dying Light 2 and whatever, but there's still gonna be some good stuff here. There is a roadmap with it targeting a November 2025 release. Then you can expect post-launch support, which will include a new story DLC, new weapons, and so on. So yes, you can expect to pay for this game, but there is going to be so much in this package if they can fulfill that ambition that I do think it's going to be worth that price. That is the thing with a lot of these Roblox games that you do have to keep in mind though. They do have to secure funding, they do have to support developers working on the project because this stuff takes a long time. The reason I appreciate and value Roblox so much, even though it's full of a ton of little kid games, you could say, it's basically a game engine akin to Unreal or Unity. I've always viewed Roblox as an incredible way to get the new generation into game development. And what's funny is I think GTA is going to be that next big game to really do this. We're getting a little off topic, I know, but there's been numerous reports where Roblox developers were contacted by somebody at Rockstar wanting them to create something for GTA 6. They want to create their own metaverse, a hub where anybody can come create whatever experience they want to play, and I think that is the future of gaming. Anyways though, to backtrack back to Dead Sun, that game is going to have its own unique soundtrack created by the main developer, and from what I've heard it sounds stellar, feeling like it's straight out of the first Dying Light. If you're interested, be sure to check out the Discords for this or any of the games I talk about down below. And with that said, these are all the games that I found that in some sort of way feel like Dying Light. Anyways, share your thoughts in the comments as that's going to be it from me for today. It's honestly incredible seeing what one person or a small team of sometimes teenagers could do with a game like Roblox. And so, stop by for the next one everyone, and adios.